Friends, today we'll be discussing about the tappet clearance of generator engine. How to take tappet clearance and what is the importance of tappet clearance. So friends, as we are seeing here, this is the rocker arm, this is the valve stem, and this one is the push rod, and this is the cam, and this is the roller. The gap between the push rod end and the roller top is actually, this is the tappet, and this is equivalent to the clearance here between the rocker arm and the valve stem. So what is actually the clearance between the valve stem and the rocker arm is called the tappet clearance, and actually this is given so that it provides a sufficient space for thermal expansion. Actually, because of the thermal expansion, this tappet clearance is provided. So how we have to take this tappet clearance? Actually, when the engine cools down and both exhaust and inlet valve is under the closed position, that is in the compression stroke, we have to take the tappet clearance. Now how we will confirm that the particular engine unit is in compression stroke? So first of all, we will just by turning the flywheel for the particular unit, we will bring it on TDC. After that, we will check the push rod, the freeness of the push rod. This push rod we have to move it, turn it, and we will see it should be free. When it is free, then it means that the roller is resting on the base of the cam, because when it is on the peak of the cam, what actually happens, it touches the push rod end. But when it is free, that means it is on the base of the cam. Visually we can also see by removing the cam case door, we can see the one which is resting on the base of the cam, not on the peak of the cam, and we will just check whether the push rod is free. After that, we will insert the feeler gauge between the valve stem, this is the valve stem, and the rocker arm, and we will just see, and we will check the clearance. Now when the clearance is more, what happens actually when the clearance is more? Now friends, what actually happens when the clearance, the tappet clearance between the valve stem and the rocker arm increases? When the clearance increases, actually then it will lead to late opening and early closure of the valve, both exhaust and inlet valves, and there will be power loss because of improper combustion, and it will ultimately lead to high exhaust temperature. And when the clearance is less, when the tappet clearance is less, then it will lead to early opening and late closure of valves, both exhaust valve and inlet valve. It will lead to early opening and late closure. This will also lead to power loss because of leak of scavenge air. The scavenge air will leak out, and high fuel consumption will be taking place, and heavy soot formation will be there because lack of scavenge air. There will be heavy formation of, because of improper combustion. Then it will lead to heavy soot formation, and ultimately will lead to power loss. Also there will be loss of compression pressure, and this will also lead to the burning of the valves. So friend, this as you are seeing here, this is the push rod, this is the rocker arm, and this is the adjusting screw. When we are moving this adjusting screw, here there is this adjusting screw we will move with the screwdriver. We will first loosen this lock nut, we will adjust this adjusting screw, and this clearance we can increase or decrease, and once it gets fixed, we will just tighten this lock nut. This is the lock nut to the required torque. We have to tighten it to the required torque. Now for the now generally for the scavenge it is 0.4 mm. Generally I am talking about, and for the exhaust it is 0.6 mm. This clearance is 0.6 mm. So there is a gauge, filler gauge, that is called go and no go gauge. We will try to insert it, and it should not move freely, but it should not be too much tight also, and we have to just confirm it, and we'll adjust the clearance. Also friends, after taking the tappet clearance, we have to just match it with the manufacturer's recommendation. In the manual we have to refer, and accordingly we have to adjust this tappet clearance.